Good morning. Today we will discuss about the rotary compressor. So in the previous lecture we have seen the classification of compressor. So we classify compressor in two category. So we have positive displacement compressor and dynamic compressor. So under positive displacement compressor we have reciprocating compressor and rotary compressor. So in previous lecture we have discussed about the reciprocating compressor, particularly single stage reciprocating compressor with and without clearance, and we have seen introduction of multi-stage compressor. Also we have discussed how to determine the work required for the single stage reciprocating compressor. Again, volumetric efficiency of the compressor, isothermal efficiency of the compressor. So today we will discuss about the rotary compressor. Again, as per our syllabus, we have only introduction of rotary compressor. Again, we will study in detail about this rotary compressor in third year under the subject turbo machinery. Now this is the one sketch of rotary compressor, and it is referred as turbocharger. We know that in engine we use supercharger and turbocharger. So one application of rotary compressor is in SI engine or in CI engine. Again, we have other application of compressor that also we have discussed in previous lecture. So we use compressor in aircraft or for pneumatic tools, for air brakes in automobiles and so on. So today we will discuss about the three types of rotary compressor, which are vane compressor, then root blower compressor and screw compressor. So first let us discuss about the root blower compressor. So first sketch is of root blower compressor, second sketch is of vane compressor, and third sketch is of screw compressor. So let us discuss about the root blower compressor first. So in root blower compressor, these are the two root blowers. This is the inlet of air and this is the outlet of air. So air from environment, it is taken inside the casing of the compressor. This air is entrapped in between these two root blowers, and that compressed air is sent to the application through this outlet. So this is the simple working of root blower compressor. Now second stage is of vane compressor. Again, this is the inlet of vane compressor, this is the casing of vane compressor, and this is the outlet of air of the vane compressor. Again, air is taken inside through this inlet inside the casing of vane compressor. Again, it consists of various vanes that are mounted on the rotor. Again, this air is entrapped in between these vanes, and that compressed air is sent to the application through this outlet. So this is the working of vane compressor. Now let us see the working of screw compressor. Again, action of screw compressor is similar to action of screws or action of nut and bolt. Again, for the screw compressor, so this is the inlet and this is the outlet. Again, air from environment is taken inside, that air is entrapped in between the screw action of the compressor, and that compressed air is sent to the environment through this outlet. So this is what in brief the working of screw compressor. Now let us discuss in brief about the non-positive displacement compressor. So this non-positive displacement compressor is also referred as dynamic compressor, and the example of dynamic compressor are the centrifugal compressor, radial compressor or axial flow compressor. So the first case is of centrifugal compressor. Again, the working of centrifugal compressor or action of centrifugal compressor is similar to action of centrifugal pump. Only difference is that centrifugal pump is used to handle or to compress the liquid fluid, whereas centrifugal compressor is used to handle the gas fluid or to compress the gas fluid or air. Again, this is the casing of centrifugal compressor, and these are the vanes mounted on rotor of the compressor. Again, air is taken through this inlet. That air is again entrapped in between this vane by the action of centrifugal force, and that compressed air is sent to the environment through this outlet. Again, we use this centrifugal compressor in turbocharger of our engine also, or in supercharger of our engine also. We'll say that arrangement in the next slide. So this is the arrangement of the vanes for the turbocharger. Again, we'll see this arrangement in the next slide. Now this is the sketch of axial flow compressor. So what is the difference between the axial flow compressor and centrifugal compressor? Only in case of axial flow compressor, the inlet and outlet of air is along the same axis. That's why it is referred as axial flow compressor. Again, the action or working principle of axial flow compressor is similar to the working principle of centrifugal compressor. Now this is the application of rotary compressor. Particularly in SI engine we use supercharger and turbocharger. The first stage is of the supercharger and the second stage is of the turbocharger. Again, in the first stage it is shown that how that supercharger is a compressor that is coupled to the engine. So here this is the engine, this is the inlet to the engine, this is the outlet of the engine. Again here this is the piston and cylinder arrangement, and on this engine shaft the compressor shaft is coupled. So this is the compressor and this is the air cooler. So again this compressor is driven by the power taken from the engine. So when the engine starts, accordingly the compressor also starts. It takes air from environment. Again that air is entrapped in between the vanes of the compressor, and that compressed air is sent to the inlet of this engine through this air cooler. So this is the inlet, or that is intake manifold of the engine. So this is what the arrangement of supercharger in case of our engine. Now this is the arrangement of turbocharger. So in turbocharger we have turbine. This T is the turbine and B is the compressor. Again in turbocharger the exhaust gas from engine is used, or the energy of exhaust gas is used to develop the additional power, and the compressor which is mounted on the shaft of the turbine is operated with the power developed by the turbine. Now the exhaust gases from the exhaust manifold is taken to the turbine. Again the energy of that exhaust gas is utilized in turbine, and that exhaust gas is sent to this outlet. So the power of this turbine is given to the compressor which is coupled on the shaft of the turbine. Again, due to this power this compressor operates. It will take the air from environment, so the inlet of air to the compressor. Again that compressed air is entrapped, or it is compressed inside this vane of the compressor, and that compressed air is sent to the engine through this inlet, again through the intercooler. So this is what the arrangement of turbocharger, and this is the arrangement of supercharger. So this supercharger and turbocharger, these are the one application, or these are the types of compressor used in our SI engine. Again in unit 4 we will discuss in detail about the supercharger and turbocharger. Again we have to develop the expression for power required for supercharger, again power required for turbocharger, again adiabatic efficiency of the supercharger, adiabatic efficiency of the turbocharger. Again we have to practice some numericals, that is we have combined numerical, that is data of the testing and performance of engine is used to that are the input data for the supercharger and turbocharger numericals. So such numericals we will practice in our unit 4 also. Now up till now we have discussed about the reciprocating and rotary compressor. Now we have to discuss or we have to practice some numericals on reciprocating compressor. Again, as per our syllabus, we have a numerical only on single stage reciprocating compressor. Now let us proceed for the numericals. Now before we start the numerical, first of all we have to prepare the list of important equation, and all the equation whatever we have discussed from our first lecture to this lecture, all this equation we have to list. Particularly what are the equations required for us? So the first equation that are based on our basic principles of our thermodynamics, particularly on the ideal gas or real gas process and application, particularly the general gas equation, that is PV is equal to MRT. That is one important equation. Again, we know the various thermodynamic process. So during thermodynamic process, we have relation between pressure, volume, temperature and entropy, and accordingly we have the basic gas laws and the relation between this pressure, temperature and volume as per that gas laws. Particularly we know that there are three types of compression. We have polytropic compression, we have adiabatic compression, we have isothermal compression, and according to that compression the basic relation is PV is equal to C, that is for isothermal compression, PV raised to N is equal to C, that is for polytropic compression, and PV raised to gamma is equal to C, that is for adiabatic compression. After that, the next important equation is the power required for the single stage reciprocating compressor, that is without clearance. So that is what one important equation. Again, we need the basic equation, that is relation between pressure ratio, volume ratio and temperature ratio. That is, if the process is 1 to 2, then relation between temperature ratio, volume ratio and pressure ratio for polytropic process is T2 by T1 is equal to P2 by P1 raised to N minus 1 by N is equal to V1 by V2 raised to N minus 1. So if the process is adiabatic, so we have to replace this N by gamma. Then we must know the basic expression for isothermal efficiency, again for volumetric efficiency, and again the basic relation for multi-stage compression. So all these basic equation we have to use for solving the numerical. So let us discuss about the first numerical. So this is the statement of the first numerical. A single stage reciprocating compressor takes 1 meter cube of air per minute at 1.013 bar and 15 degrees Celsius and deliver it at 7 bar. Assuming that the law of compression is PV raised to 1.35 is equal to constant and the clearance is negligible, calculate the indicated power. So how to proceed for this numerical? First of all, we have to write the given data. So what is the given data? It is a single stage compressor. Again, this is the volume of air. So let us consider this is volume V1. It is 1 meter cube per minute. Again, we have to convert this volume from meter cube per minute to meter cube per second. So 1 meter cube per minute is equal to 1 by 60 meter cube per second, because 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Now this is the pressure P1, it is 1.013 bar. Again we have to convert this pressure bar, from bar to Pascal. So 1 bar is equal to 10 raised to 5 Pascal. So pressure P1 is 1.013 bar, that is equal to 1.013 bar into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Next, this is the temperature T1, that is 15 degrees Celsius. Again we have to convert this temperature from degree Celsius to degree Kelvin. So we have to add 273 in this value. So T1 is 15 plus 273. So that is 288 degree Kelvin. Then this is the discharge pressure, that is P2, 7 bar. Again we have to convert this 7 bar into Pascal. So pressure P2 is 7 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Again this is the law of compression is PV raised to 1.35 is equal to constant. So we have to compare with this. PV raised to N is equal to constant. So small n, value of the small n is 1.35, and here we have to neglect the clearance volume. So in order to find the indicated power, what is our expression? So it is again for polytropic compression. So indicated work is equal to N upon N minus 1 MRT1 in bracket P2 by P1 raised to n minus 1 by n minus 1, or same relation we can write, instead of MRT1 we can write P1 V1. So it is indicated work is equal to n upon n minus 1 P1 V1 in bracket P2 by P1 raised to n minus 1 by n minus 1. So once we write this expression, then we have to substitute the values of V1, pressure P1, temperature T1, again pressure P2, adiabatic index small n, that is 1.35, and once we substitute the value, then we have to find the indicated power. So let us see the solution for numerical. So here, so as discussed, this is the data of the numerical. So volume of air taken is V1, that is 1 meter cube per minute. Again we have to convert this 1 meter cube per minute in 1 meter cube per second. So we have to divide by 60. Then intake pressure, that is P1, 1.013 bar. Again we have to convert this pressure 1.013 bar into Pascal. So P1 is 1.013 bar into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Then temperature T1, again we have to convert this into degree Celsius. So 15 plus 273, 288 degree Kelvin. Then discharge pressure P2, it is 7 bar. Again we have to convert this 7 bar into Pascal. So P2 is 7 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Again this is the law of compression, PV raised to 1.35 is equal to constant. So our small n, that is polytropic index, is 1.35. Then first let us find the mass of air. So by general gas equation we have PV is equal to MRT. So considering the state 1, so the equation is P1 V1 is equal to MRT1. So from that equation we can write value of small m, that is P1 V1 upon RT1. Again the capital R is characteristic gas constant, and value of this characteristic gas constant is 287 joule per kg per Kelvin. Now substitute value of P1, it is 1.013 10 to 5, value of V1, that is 1 meter cube per minute, value of R 287, and value of T1 288. So when we substitute the value and when we calculate, then we get the mass of air, it is 1.266 kilogram per minute. If required, we may convert this mass from kilogram per minute to kilogram per second. So to convert this mass from kilogram per minute to kilogram per second, we have to divide this value by 60. Now we have to find the discharge pressure, though the mass and discharge pressure is not required, but as a practice always we have to find this parameter. So T2, so we know this is the basic relation for polytropic process or for polytropic compression process. PV raised to 1.35 is equal to C. So considering the state 1 and 2, the same expression we can write as P1 V1 raised to 1.35 is equal to P2 V2 raised to 1.35. So from this we have written this expression, that is T2 is equal to T1 P2 by P1 raised to 1.35. Again substitute value of T1, substitute value of P1, substitute value of P2, and when we calculate it, then accordingly the temperature T2 is 475.2 Kelvin. Then we have to use the expression for indicated power or indicated work, that is n upon n minus 1 mr T2 minus T1. So we can write the same expression in terms of pressure ratio also, but since the temperature T2 is known to us, T1 is known to us, m is known to us, r is known to us, polytropic index is known to us, so directly we can use this expression instead of that expression. So when we substitute value of n, that is 1.35, value of m from this expression, then r 287, T2 that is 475.2, T1 that is 288 degree Kelvin. So substitute these values, so accordingly we get the power, that is, again the power is given in kilojoule per minute. So when you substitute the value of minute in second, accordingly the power is written in kilowatt. So it is 4.23 kilowatt. So that is the indicated power required for this compressor. So this is our first numerical. So similar numerical we have to practice in the next lecture. So today we'll stop here. Thank you.